This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IP Livecast. Kid Rock was in the news this week because he was so mad at trans people that he shot up a bunch of beer cans. Come on, trans community. Keep at it. Maybe next time Kid will just straight up shoot Ted Nugent in the face. A girl can dream. Our IP Livecast starts now.
R.I.P. Ted Nugent. Hopefully we'll be saying that one day. Am I right, folks?
We should make a vow to stay doing the podcast at least until Ted Nugent dies.
That you never know. What if he pulls a Mick Mars or something? Just hangs on for dear life.
Well,
what if he outlasts us?
Yeah.
What if one of us dies before Ted Nugent?
Well, one of us already left the show before Ted Nugent died.
But we didn't make the vow yet at that point. Maybe Noah would still be here if she had made a blood oath.
Call her up.
Rob,
come back.
Welcome to RIP a Livecast. We're back. We took a week off. Hopefully you enjoyed the bonus Hall of Fame episode. I enjoyed listening to it. I listened to it a little bit on my flight home. The Livecast typically live every Saturday afternoon around noon Eastern time. You can watch us live on Twitch or on YouTube, and then of course archived video and audio wherever you listen to or watch your podcasts. Video on Twitch and YouTube, though. You can only watch it there. All right, relax. Of course, the feedback lines are open. You can always email us, riplivecast@gmail.com. Using traditional email, send us a voice memo, audio, video. We'll take it all, folks. This is a multimedia operation. And you can hang out with us all week long on Discord. Chat with us. The invite is at riplivecast.com. Fellas, how are your 2 weeks off?
well, it's only 1 week off.
Well,
but it was fine. It was relaxing.
2 weeks between the shows.
Yes. It felt weird. It's weird getting up on a Saturday and not having this to look forward to. I feel sort of directionless. Seriously, that's like my thing on the Saturday, like my reason to have coffee in the morning and wash myself. And then
so you didn't shower? You didn't shower yesterday? Or last week, I should say. Last Saturday?
Probably
you didn't
not.
Have the reason to shower?
Probably not.
Not even for the benefit of your wife being in
I mean, I'm not that. I don't go anywhere or do anything. It's not like I get all sweaty and stinky. I'm typically an every other day showerer since the pandemic has started, and I don't go into the office or anything. It's every other day.
Now, why every other day? Is there a limit to you're like, oh, I'm too crusty, I need to uncrust?
Yeah. A couple days that it's a bit much. So,
Which part of the body is the indicator of how crusty you are? Is it your crotch, your pits?
Probably the crotch. Once it's a little swampy in there, it's like,
can I ask a question?
Of course.
You can ask as many questions as you want. That's the beauty of the show.
I didn't know if your line of questioning had a more.
No. We could tag team. We could tag team sit on this one.
I definitely need a shower after that.
I was wondering if the COVID-19 pandemic affected anyone's showering habits.
Yeah.
Did you at all when there were long stretches of time where you weren't seeing another person or going outside? Did you shower at all during those times? I'm not at all, but did the time lengthen?
I mean, that's when I went to every other day.
Oh, okay.
But any more than I still, if I was living by myself, it would probably go on a little bit longer than every other day. But since
how long do you think you could go?
Still not that long, but I could go every 3 days, every 4 days, probably.
Wow.
See, when I was married, that really tightened up my hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
My ex-wife is. You've both been to. We were at our house when I was married. I mean, it's like a museum. Everything is clean, and it's the same thing. The body is a temple, and you must,
Mm-hmm.
So she would just and politely, she wouldn't rude to me or naggy or scoldy, but she's like, she didn't tolerate anything, even going a day without a shower would be,
wow,
frowned upon. I'd say, not that I never did it, but it would be frowned upon.
And she would always know whether you showered or not, or was it
not
see
that
you go to the shower? Or
yes, no, not that I stunk so bad within one day, but that I didn't take a shower. You should take a shower. You really should take a shower every day, and she'd just remind me, and I've started doing it.
Yeah, I love taking showers.
I do not.
Why not? What do you hate about it?
I don't know. I've asked my therapist about this, if maybe I had some incident in a shower once, because I do it. I absolutely do it when I have to, but it's an unpleasant task that I know.
What is unpleasant about it?
I just don't like being in there. It's some innate feeling. I don't like, I do what I have to do because I know I'm going to work or I'm going to be around people. But I've always, it's just something.
Is it just getting wet? You don't like getting wet?
I don't like the whole process. It just feels like
claustrophobic.
It feels like a chore to me that I must do, just like brushing your teeth. I don't sit there and enjoy brushing my teeth, but I do it because I don't want my teeth to fall out.
Yeah,
I don't enjoy brushing my teeth, but showers are great. It's like I feel it's such a luxury to be able to control the temperature of the water, and it just do a little hot, do a little cold.
Well, you see, for me, part of the issue, like I don't dislike showers, but I like taking hot showers, and it dries the fuck out of my skin.
Oh.
So if I could do it every other day, then that's just less damage I'm doing to my skin, because I can't force myself to take like a tepid shower or a cold shower. It's got to be
even
hot.
In the summer. You take hot showers in the summer?
Less hot, but still hotter than I think most people would.
I
love cold showers in the summer.
I take room temperature showers in the summer, and then hot showers every other time. But you reminded me of a memory, and this is actually the day of my bar mitzvah. There was no hot water, just by coincidence, and I had to go in the shower. I'm already nervous as fuck. I go in the shower, and it's just freezing cold, and we're late. And then my mother's like, "Let's go," and then like I had to jump in there. I'd feel like an icicle on the day of my bar mitzvah. It was really terrifying. That might be the last freezing cold shower I've taken. No, I don't think. I feel like I felt that way before.
Okay.
I honestly think I might have been like molested in a shower and just not remember or something. Like,
my God.
I'm not joking. I don't know. Shit. I did have. I don't know if this is related. I had like a family friend who didn't touch me or anything, but like watched me pee at the toilet a little bit too long, uncomfortably, and that still to this day makes me not like to pee at urinals. Although I do it if I really have to go, but I get a little pins and needles sometimes.
God damn.
Yeah.
Huh.
Take a look, fellas. Is this what you want to see? That's my reaction.
Not when you were 4, though.
Yes,
I was 4. I didn't have this experience when I was 4.
Yeah.
But,
damn.
Revelations here on the RIP a Livecast.
Excluding Sid, but have either of you done an ice bath? I'm assuming, Darren, you haven't. I have not.
What is an ice bath? Is it just what the name says, or is there something to it that I'm not?
Yeah, it's essentially you fill a tub with ice, and then you put water in, and then you dive in there. It's very difficult for me to do cold water. I could do. The only time I've enjoyed a cold plunge is when I am, deep into a sauna session where my body temperature and my skin have gotten so used to being at such a hot temperature that I need a cool down, and that's good. But I can't go from room temperature to a cold bath. Cold showers in general, for me, also uncomfortable. I've done them, but cold shower on a cold windy day is the most excruciating thing for me.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those cold showers, man.
Could I just say Deuterino? So Deuterino asked that question, then his follow-up was, it feels awful at first, but great, every sore leaves you. And I think he means every ache in your body leaves you, but now I'm picturing his body just riddled with sores.
Just left in an ice bath, just popping up to the top, like little
pus
bubbles.
And blood.
Oh, gross. He looks like those Bud Light cases after Kid Rock got done with it.
Oh, no. So, Rob, can you explain that story to us?
The Kid Rock story?
Yes.
So, apparently, Bud Light announced a thing with Dylan Mulvaney, who is a trans social media influencer, and she, I guess, is pretty hype right now. She's like one of the most followed people on TikTok. Gen Z loves her, and based on the ongoing culture war from the right against trans people and the greater LGBTQIA plus community, it became a thing to like protest this. And
now I was plugged out of this. I didn't get to this until it appeared in our Discord. So I was under the impression that Kid Rock was just shooting Bud Light cases because they made a rainbow packaging on their beer, right, which is stupid enough. Yeah. But this seems like an extra dimension of stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's how Blabbermouth reported. Kid Rock has blasted Anheuser-Busch for its it's just that language for its decision to enlist trans activist and influencer Dylan Mulvaney as a Bud Light brand influencer. TikTok star has more than 10 million followers, and she posted a video advertising the beer company's March Madness contest, offering customers a chance to win 15 grand. This caused a number of conservatives to share their apparent anger over the partnership, including Kid Rock, who posted a video. Should we watch the video? Why even?
Sure, please.
Why even describe the video when we can just see it now? So for our audio listeners, the video starts where we see Kid Rock's back, and he's promoting
and his neck,
also,
but not his.
And he's promoting his Tennessee restaurant, the Fish Fry.
Look at that, like upscale MAGA hat he had. What is that?
And he has a fresh MAGA hat.
It's like it's not red.
It's like a yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Powder blue is a good way to.
Yeah, it's like the NC Tar Heels. Color.
Yes. Except he's a shit heel.
Yes. I don't. Is this like for like the centrist liberals that support MAGA? Like they get this kind of hat? You know?
Well,
because it's like light blue.
As we learned from what
it's like light blue MAGA
have embraced George W. Bush, the notorious war criminal. Yeah. We know that in 7 years they will probably be big fans of Trump. So this is like getting in front of the wave here.
All right, so here's the kid.
Grandpa's feeling a little frisky today.
I just like this already feels like a wrestling promo, you know, like he like turns to the camera like he's fucking
yeah, and it's like early 80s NWA style when they would just go like to like a parking lot somewhere and film this dude by his pickup truck.
Now listen, Big Daddy, you want to design your Bud Light with a rainbow on it? I ain't gonna drink it. And I'll see you at the Podunk Auditorium on April 17th, and I'll show you how much I ain't gonna drink it.
This is like Dusty Rhodes forcing Tully Blanchard to plow the fields with him or something. This is the setup.
I don't plow a lot of fields in my time, Daddy. But ain't none of them ever had no rainbow on it.
Yeah, I love now that the rainbow has been co-opted. Like the rainbow is no longer a symbol of happiness, and it's just gay.
It's not just
you can't have anything with rainbow on it.
It's not just gay, Rob. It's evil. It's evil.
It's evil. It's pedophilia. Yeah.
That is so stupid. Right. Well, let's hear what Kid has to say.
Say something to all you and be as clear and concise as possible.
That would be new. Taking a new approach. Oh, he's got a gun. Tuning up some Bud Light. Missed almost all of it. 2 cases still left standing, completely intact.
Fuck Anheuser-Busch.
Have
a terrific day.
He had 4 cases of Bud Light, missed 2 of them that are fully intact, and shot 2 of them.
Well, he's still going to drink them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course.
Also, his form is terrible. Like you're supposed to tuck your elbow in when you use that.
Oh, listen to
it's like you don't even know. You don't even. Well, I saw someone on Twitter criticizing him. But yeah, no, this is the silliest protest because you bought 4 cases. You gave them money.
Anheuser-Busch company.
And also, I just love when this sort of anti-gay or anti-woke thing clashes with rainbow capitalism, which is just capitalist brands trying to just like pretend that they're inclusive to get gay dollars.
There's no winner here.
Because there's no. It's not like I'm rooting for. Like I'm going to go out drink Bud Light to show Kid Rock. To be clear, Bud Light may be the worst beer. I guess like regular Bud is worse. Miller Lite probably worse. But in a class of terrible beers, I would say.
I've never had a beer that I like, so I can't speak on this one.
I feel like the German versions of what Bud Light tries to be are actually very good.
Heineken? What?
No, like you have to get like a Hefeweizen.
They're like brands I wouldn't know about. You're saying?
Yeah, you have to do a little bit of research, I guess. But what's crazy now is I feel like beer culture is so huge and proliferated. Is that like these obscure beers that I like? Like I mentioned on the show before, Warsteiner is my favorite brand. Warsteiner. I've been seeing
Jew
it
in me
everywhere.
cannot go near a beer called Warsteiner. I just start getting like
tastes delicious.
Flashbacks to before I was born, and there's like a guard tower, a guy with a rifle. Watching me drink
I mean
beer.
the logo definitely looks like that too.
You will drink this beer, yeah? Right on your way to the shower.
Yeah. This is what the guy driving the train.
I think it's Belgian. I don't even. It's not German. It's Belgian. It's Belgian. It's fine.
The beer is actually formaldehyde to preserve my organs for when they sell them later. Now, there's your Warsteiner. Here's a picture of Warsteiner on the. Now, yes, and I do know that we have German people in the audience. I don't mean to demonize you. I think Germany's done a great job getting rid of Nazism. It's just an instinct. I can't explain it. When you're American Jew, you have all this propaganda.
Oh no!
It's just in you. When you hear the German accent, the first instinct is sorry. I can't. I'm trying to tune myself out of that, but it's hard. So anyway, with Kid Rock, I wanted to go back to the trans influencer portion of this, and it just seems to me, and I feel like I try to be understanding of the other side. I know, Rob, you are also a big fan of devil's advocate and understanding why people take bad positions on things. And I admire that about you. And I feel that way about certain things, like when people oppose trans kids in wrestling, like that's a bad position. But I understand how they came by it. Like I understand where they're coming from. I don't understand this because it just seems like a trans person now just has a job, like promoting a product. Like that's bad. How is this affecting your life in any way that a trans person did an advertisement?
I can explain that. Not that I agree with it, but they just think the trans agenda is just basically they find themselves as Christians constantly under attack, and that the Christian way of life, which is reproducing and creating more Christians, is
that's how it works for every person, though.
I understand. I'm just trying to
the gonads are the same no matter what.
This is how I've come to understand the intention here, which is that they just see that gay culture is a threat to Christianity because it prevents, it prevents natural births, and I'm speaking very generally. I'm just trying to provide the perspective. I don't agree with it, and so by having these trans spokespeople, you're validating this lifestyle that will just be an end to Christianity. And now it is such a threat that the oppressed Christian silent majority must rise up and speak and take back their country from this ridiculous threat.
It just seems like people want to have rights that other people don't have, and that was the good old days. And every time someone else gets rights, then they're losing something. I don't know.
It feels very regressive. I feel like we're back in the 80s all of a sudden with like just how it's just like satanic panic, basically.
Yes.
And it very much feels like a backlash to what they would say is too much progress. Like, we moved too far left, we got to pull back, but really we haven't at all. It's just maybe there's more presence of different types of lifestyles in media, which makes them think that this stuff is everywhere.
Well, Rob, I have to dispute you on that. I think you're completely forgetting that there are many, many different colors of Bud Light packaging now. How is that not social progress? How dare you? How dare you erase Bud Light packaging?
Did Kid Rock provide any further context, or were we just supposed to understand what he was mad at automatically?
Of course, no context. And also, what's funny is someone went down to his bar the next day and they're still serving Bud Light.
Of course.
And also, if you're subscribed or you follow Kid Rock anywhere, you are already inundated with everything he's mad about.
Yeah, so I guess
the thing is too.
Know. Yeah.
What beer brand has not done a pro-gay ad campaign, especially during like the summer Pride months?
Coors?
With Coors, funny enough, there was a protest from gay bars because the Coors company were anti-union, and Harvey Milk once staged a protest where he got all the gay bars to side with the unions and stop serving Coors in the gay bars, and that's why most gay bars typically just serve Bud Light now.
Huh.
But I'm sure Coors does. Everyone like Travis Tritt's like, I'm filling my rider up with Miller Lite now. Miller Lite is also Coors, and Miller Lite has done plenty of like everyone on Twitter, like all the replies to him saying he's switching to Miller Lite are like gay campaigns that Miller Lite has done.
They're subtly missing the important part here, which is that like you're worried about that group over there, and like liberals are doing the same thing, worried about that group over there. And while they're all fighting with each other, all these corporations now own everything. So like you're mad at the wrong thing, buddy.
They're also getting so much free publicity from this. I think, like this is the greatest thing for Bud Light. And also,
we should give credit to the first gay beer brand, which is Schmidt's Gay. I don't know if you remember. I put it in the chat. Do you want to play a couple of seconds in that?
Are we going to get a YouTube strike if we play an SNL clip?
Yeah, we
maybe. Okay. Oh well. It was Adam Sandler and Chris Farley in a basic template beer commercial, but like, how you go by the pool and there's all these hot women. Well, they just had a bunch of half-naked men.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is awesome! And there's like rock music plays.
But it's played straight.
Yes.
Yeah, I really did appreciate it.
They're like two straight guys acting like straight guys, but freaking out how hot all the guys are around them.
Also, what's so funny to me now is like, that's it. I'm not drinking Bud Light. I'm drinking this other beer. And everyone's like, well, that's actually still Anheuser-Busch. So now through this weird trans panic, I feel like right-wingers are learning about corporate consolidation and how bad it is. So there is an upside to their bigotry because, like, for example, Travis Tritt told his followers that you can't. Here are all the beers that Anheuser-Busch owns. You can't drink any of these because these are all the gay beers.
They're gonna have to go back to drinking rubbing alcohol out of the medicine cabinet.
Moonshine.
But also, like, if you look like Busch, Natty Ice, Natty Light, like those are the beers of the right. Like they're like, fuck, I can't drink Natty Ice anymore.
O'Doul's is it's not even beer. That's like fake beer with no alcohol.
Well, people like that stuff.
I know. I'm not saying it's bad to drink O'Doul's if you like have a drinking problem and you just love the taste of beer. That's fine. But the fact that that's on that list is hilarious. The banned list.
And so as you can see, like in the comments, people are just totally getting housed because like this guy responds to Travis Tritt, happy I drink Guinness or bourbon, never liked Bud Light. And then somebody responds, I have some terrible news about that. gay beer you drink, and it's just a bunch of results of Guinness supporting LGBT stuff like the Pride Parade. Every beer company is going to support it.
I just thought of something. What if somebody is a conservative, but they had a bad drinking problem? They beat it by drinking O'Doul's, and now they go back to drinking and they just die because they have to not drink O'Doul's anymore.
But they can't even, because every other alcohol product is also gay.
It's true.
They have that's water.
That's where the rubbing alcohol comes in.
Yeah.
Has there ever been
rubbing is gay, Darren?
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Is there a trans activist or influencer that has supported like rubbing alcohol and promoted it on their Insta? Probably
no TikTok
not, right?
endorsements yet. No,
that might be safe.
But yeah, so it's all so ridiculous, and really, this just makes me think that this year's Pride Month is going to be the most uncomfortable Pride Month in the history of whiny snowflakes. Like, they're going to be so bitchy and so annoying, and it's absurd.
Well, somebody with more organizing capabilities than I have should just reach out to these people and say,
these people,
you got the right idea. Just stop targeting the gay and trans people and start targeting the corporations, and like we'll have a common enemy. But I don't have a lot of faith in that.
Well,
happening.
Who is we?
We is the left, and they are like, the portion of right wingers that are well-meaning people that are misled by bullshit propaganda.
Religion.
Religion, and also Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder type dipshits.
I mean, that's a big ask.
It is a big ask. That's why I said someone with organizing capabilities beyond my ability to influence people. But I think it's
shortcake. In other words, 3D is saying yesterday's target is not today's target.
Yeah. Yes. Just like Fat Joe said. Wise man, the oracle of our times.
What booze does Fat Joe drink? Maybe that could be the end.
Nothing gay. He's very masculine. He's very mask presenting.
He's a Henny fan. Everyone, the hip hop guys love the Hennessy.
He also loves chugging a buffalo wing sauce.
What?
Yes, he's great. That's his go-to drink. Well, he's like 400 pounds.
Wait, are you saying? I can't tell if you're making that up or if that's an actual thing he does.
No, I was very deadpan on that. That was a joke.
So I believe it about him. Yeah, I was Googling Fat Joe buffalo wings.
Is there a verbal version of /S, like when you're writing sarcasm online? Just a joke, guys. I'll just say that every time.
Deuterino, could you Photoshop Fat Joe into like a tub of buffalo wing sauce or something? Thank you.
Chugging it.
Hennessy, I'm not a fan of. I just it tastes like medicine. I never understood cognac.
I don't like any hard liquor. It just all tastes like shit to me.
My dad loved cognac, and I tried it a few times, and no, that's way too advanced.
That seems like not the typical drink for an older like Russian man.
Well, in his older years. He, I think, went more back to just vodka. But I remember, like, as a kid, when we'd go, like, out to, like, fancy, like, family dinners or whatever, cognac would be. Same. Maybe he just did it to, like, impress my relatives. I don't know.
He's hitting the yak.
Here's the difference, Darren. Vodka is like the water. Like, you have that with your meal and all that. Cognac is like the special toast.
Like yes.
Like I didn't necessarily mean he was only drinking vodka. I'm just when I think of cognac, I think of your father hanging out with Busta Rhymes in the back of the club.
Well, that's what's funny is because I only came into contact with cognac as a child going to these restaurants, like these Russian restaurants, and then like it went away. And then in the early aughts, I feel like Busta Rhymes and these hip hop guys, they brought back the cognac. I think it was just the gimmick was cognac and blunts at the time, I believe, was the idea.
Blunts have endured. Blunts survived the whole culture wars and came out on top, I have to say.
I feel like it's evolved now too, because now it's more like hemp wraps, because the tobacco is kind of what's kind of frowned upon. Like, oh, it's not good for you.
Oh my God. There's like a fucking vape store on every block now. In New York City, they got everything.
Or just straight up weed store.
Sometimes
they're all selling weed now.
Sometimes I just go in there to get a seltzer because it's the only store that's available, and I just go in and you see the array of fucking different weed products that it's not like a specialty weed store anymore. Like I'm sure that stuff, like Rob, you'd go somewhere in Denver or something, but now it's just every store on every block has.
I'm constantly blown away by it because when I was a kid, folks.
Oh boy.
There was only one place you can get weed paraphernalia, and that's in Greenwich Village. You had to schlep all the way into fucking Manhattan. There was like 3 to 5 stores on a block, and that's where you can get your shit. And that was the only place to get your shit. Now I go visit my parents. I think just every bodega, what used to be a bodega, has now just transformed into a vape shop. That's
they're all vape shops / bodegas. Like they'll have Funyuns in one corner.
Yeah,
and
most of them have
bongs in the other corner.
Yeah, those bongs are like the worst, but they're like vases for display. Like nobody's gonna buy a $150 bong from a bodega because they're also just they're outdated designs. Yeah.
What do you mean? Like the art isn't in vogue anymore? When you outdated designs?
There's much fancier bongs now. If you're gonna buy
they
a
more
bong,
expensive?
There's style over substance.
Not really. You can get a decent bong for basically the same price as that bodega's in because there's a markup. Don't go thick ass glass, folks. That's my recommendation if you want a good bong.
That's a brand.
Isn't that your,
that's a website?
Your grinder handle?
Actually, it is a brand. Glass. No, I do not. Darren.
What? Did I give it away? Sorry.
Well, no, glass would imply that there's some sort of meth smoking going on. And I do
not. I see.
Party with a capital T. That's the code, and I am not into it. If anyone ever asks you to party, all the letters of party are lowercase, but the T is capital. That T is short for Tina. And Tina, you don't want to be smoking Tina.
I don't know what Tina
Wait, what?
is.
Yeah, what?
Tina's meth.
Why is Tina meth?
What did Tina ever do to be associated with meth? Poor Tinas of the world. Why is that meth?
Yeah.
What's the etymology of that?
Why is Molly? Why is Molly ecstasy?
I don't know that either. Why?
I don't know.
While you're looking that up, El Dorino says Rob has the Marc Jacobs bong. I disagree. I think you have a Bonglenciaga.
I have.
That's the episode title.
I think I mentioned this. I just I got a gravity bong, a premium gravity bong, the student glass.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
Tina
nice.
for Tina.
No Tina, please. That really makes me. I don't want to be encouraging that.
I remember the wildest thing I associate with Rob and weed. There's the bong on the screen.
It's fancy.
Wow.
The wildest thing I associate with Rob, as far as weed goes, was when I came over to do this, when we were doing the show in person. I came over, and Rob and Noah started wheeling out this fucking science project, Volcano.
Yes.
And I'm like, what? This has to be like, this is like an SNL sketch. This is like, how stupid can you make weed smoking? Let's make it a volcano.
Do you still use that, Rob?
Yeah, occasionally.
Wow, really? That same one, or like a new one that was like 10 years.
Well, that was Noah's. I got my own eventually.
So when do you use that? Like, what's the occasion that's the way you get high?
When it's like I don't want to been smoking too much, want to just change it up a little.
Dusty wants
the gravity bong kind of changed it all because I've really been having a moment with that. I mostly use that.
Dusty wants to know what the Bud Light of bongs it would be.
Oh,
the Bud Light of just a simple like bodega bong that's just like a beaker with a hole through it. And T-Tam, I looked it up, and you are correct. Tina is because it's short for Christina, and Christina would be the beginning of crystal meth. Yes,
good to know. How about Molly?
You got it. I don't know. Molly, just maybe MDMA. I don't know why is Molly.
There's poor people named with these names. It's like
Molly
Karen.
Ringwald can't get work anymore.
Well, yeah, there's not too many people named Molly, but there's lots of Tinas. It's the same thing with Karen. I feel like although it's useful to have one name to call all those type of women. What about all the innocent, nice people named Karen?
Yeah.
It's not fair.
So Molly is short for molecular because it is the crystallized form of ecstasy. It's the purer ecstasy. There you go.
Oh,
Huh.
that's actually clever. I think Tina is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Crystal.
But I think with that, you just want to be as discreet and confusing as possible. As you could see, you two normies had no idea what was going on.
It's true.
You didn't either. You just fucking Googled it. The fuck you talking about?
But he at least
I
knew
knew
that it was.
I knew what it meant. I didn't know where it came from.
He's half a step ahead of us, Darren.
All right, wise guy. Fucking drug
Look,
oracle.
some of us haven't ever gotten the offer to get clouds blown on our dicks, and it shows. That's all I'm saying.
Excuse me?
Why don't you just pat yourself on the back for knowing more about fucking deadly chemicals that people put into their body?
I wouldn't.
Don't hurt yourself, Barry Horowitzing yourself about that.
That's an immediate no for me. But yes, that's I have gotten that kind of a solicitation, and it's like, oh no, blood.
Wait, like if somebody wanted to blow meth smoke on your dick?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's like I think that's like a.
Can you get high from that?
I don't know. I don't
Like
even.
if the smoke goes in your pee hole?
I'm assuming they just like getting high and sucking dick.
Rob, I thought Sean told you not to talk about that.
Oh, come on.
chat.
this is so wrong. Like, we should not be. Darren is being very sarcastic. He does not mean that. These are wild accusations.
I don't mean that. Sean didn't care if he talked about it. That was a joke. That was a joke.
No. Sean does not.
Moves to the middle of the country, and all of a sudden his habits change.
I have to say, speaking of meth, I did see a group of teenagers iPhone video filming a tweaker in the Junction. I know you guys know what the Junction is, the area of Brooklyn. I was there getting some food, and I was in the restaurant, and right outside, they're shooting a video and like kind of just harassing this guy who was very clearly tweaking and just like kind of pushing him up against the wall.
No.
And then I just stood up to look. I wasn't even going to do anything, and they just started scattering. I guess because I look like a cop. Every time I go to an urban type of area, people just scatter and think I'm a cop. As I'm not dressed as in any way that would indicate I'm a cop. I just have a white guy and I have that frame, it's a stocky. Ever since I was like 16, people have just thought I was a Fed.
But I think you do kind of dress like your typical.
I look like an undercover.
Wardrobe is like what I feel like an undercover would, because and I don't mean that as a burn or anything, but you're typically wearing like a Mets jersey or some sort of sports gear, which I feel like anytime I see an undercover cop stopping a guy in a train, like that's kind of what they're wearing. They're wearing.
Well,
like,
I think
it's usually Yankees gear. I will say that.
Of course. Well, I think what it is that it's not so much that I dress like a cop. I think I just dress like what a guy with my build and culture background dresses like. And those cops are from the same stock as I am, So we just happen to dress the same.
Dusty Roosevelt for 3D wears the All Lives Matter Oakleys.
You never catch me in that shit.
Wow.
That's a thing?
Yeah, like the Cartman respect my authority glasses.
Oh no, I just thought like Oakley made a All Lives Matter.
Oh no, I don't think so. Well,
now we're going to shoot a video shooting Oakleys.
People who believe all lives matter are more likely to wear those kind of Oakleys, is the implication. I understand.
Sorry, Kid Rock. Oakley's had a trans influencer represent their sunglasses.
Yeah, Dylan Mulvaney is now the new spokesperson for Oakleys as well. You can't wear those either.
God dang it! Can't wear any sunglasses. Can't drink any beer. What's next? Gatorade? Oh shit! It's got gay in it.
And almost AIDS.
Yeah. And Raid. I can't kill any insects no more neither. Oh, look, El Dorino corrected me about the Cartman statement that I made, that those were aviator glasses and not Oakleys. That fictional cartoon character was wearing.
Was the guy who was politically correct, right?
I don't know.
The principal?
PC principal, yes. That was when I had to stop watching. I was like, okay, we're done
You know way
liberating
too
to
much
talk that show.
about South Park and sunglasses and meth names.
You got to know what to avoid.
Oh
when
yeah.
you go into in these sketchy situations.
Why are you in so many sketchy situations?
He
Because
lives on
they
the
could be
knife's
fun.
edge.
Not too far off the edge.
Not the razor's edge.
Not the razor's edge. Once
He
he
fell off of that edge.
Yeah, that
Hey,
hard to
yo.
balance on that one.
Maybe we should have a seance with him too.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah, see how he's doing.
I think we know how he's doing. It's probably not great.
Hey, yo. Turn down the heat.
man,
Speaking of people teetering on the edge of existence, do we want to talk about Mick Mars?
Oh.
Yeah, there's been a quite an update of the Mick Mars universe.
Wait, that can't
He's alive still. He's alive still.
That's the first hurdle you have to clear when there's an update about Mick Mars.
So we talked about this, I believe, a few weeks ago, maybe
Yes.
on our last episode with Vinny Appice, or Peach, Vinny
Appice.
He's speaking out of turn, so to speak, for Mick Mars, that Mick was very unhappy with being forced to retire, and that he didn't want to play anymore, and the band are just doing a cash grab, and of course, then Nikki Sixx said that Carmine Pussy should keep his mouth shut, and that this is an internal affair, an internal business. Well, not so much anymore, because now Mick Mars is suing Motley Crue over tour profits, saying they're ripping him off financially.
Hey, bone marrow is expensive.
Mick Mars, whose real name is, do we know this, guys? Do you know this? What's his real
Molly Tina. No? Just a guess.
No.
Mick Uranus.
Robert Allen Deal. That's his name.
All right.
Announced in October he was retiring from touring with Motley Crue due to his ongoing painful struggle with, I'm not going to pronounce the disease, a type of arthritis.
Try it. Come on, Rob.
No, ankylosing spondylitis. I guess that's how it is.
70% of cases, man, it's a lot of reason.
Son of a bitch. So he sues. He's 71 years old, saying he could still record with the band or do limited performances. He just couldn't handle a full tour, and states that his bandmates held an emergency shareholders meeting to throw him out of the group and strip him of his shares in the corporation that manages the group's business interest. Oh, some shady shit.
Like Succession.
Mick says that Motley Crue cut his percentage of profits from 25 to 5% after announced he was stepping back from touring.
Oh, what's he doing, really? He can't do anything anyway.
Well, he's saying he could still record or perform select. Well, either way, he's still a partner in the corporation.
But there is a thing in their contract that says if he loses 80% of bone density, then he loses 80% of his profits.
Got to read the fine print.
Yeah.
Furthermore, he claims the band's lawyers made him feel like he should be grateful for even that small of a cut because they didn't feel they owed him anything at all.
The lawyer said, "You should be grateful you're still breathing."
Yeah. Eat chinos then.
You lucky you're still breathing. Oh, God, here.
Mick also claims there was a full band meeting and they decided to, quote, unilaterally remove him from Motley Crue. Mick repeatedly accused bassist Nikki Sixx of gaslighting him about his guitar skills diminishing, despite the fact that Sixx didn't, quote, play a single note on bass during a recent tour, according to the guitarist.
Whoa.
Mick claims all of Nikki's parts were pre-recorded. So that's quite some shade.
I'm surprised he was able to say all this through his Stephen Hawking voice box. That's kind of impressive. It's a lot
Well,
of
this
words.
is through his attorney. So
Oh,
He tapped
he
it
might
out
have-
in Morse code.
Like the one video.
Yeah.
SOS, help me. Stay in Motley Crue.
Six made it clear to Mars that he believed that the 5% offer was a generous one, and that Mars, after 41 consecutive years with the band, did not deserve anything going forward, which I wouldn't agree with. Mick's lawyers wrote in the filing. Six further gaslighted Mars by severely criticizing his performance on the U.S. tour and exclaimed that there is no way the band could tour with Mars anymore. Pretty fucked up. Hey, we got money to make. You can't make it. Get out of here. You're lucky we're giving you anything.
On one hand, I would say they probably, there is some case to be made that he should not be touring.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
he shouldn't be touring.
He is entitled to the money. He's a founding member of the band,
Exactly.
This is a kind of a scummy power move.
Agreed. And there's plenty of money to go around. It's not like this is a struggle. They're talking about millions of fucking dollars.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but Vince Neil has clearly spent quite a bit of that money since he's driving around on a fucking Zamboni in a commercial and doing this ab controller machine shit.
What do you think would happen to Mick Mars if they hooked him up to that machine?
Oh my God.
Crumble into dust?
One of two things: crumble into dust or be rejuvenated into a normal walking human being with a spine.
Oh my goodness.
Could you imagine? Like, it's just like how they test on one drug and they find out that it cures cancer by they don't know. And it's like for hair loss and it cures. Imagine they think it's just a stupid, goofy ab thing on Shark Tank. And then it actually makes Mick Mars's spine like it's like stem cells. He can just walk. He can run a marathon now.
Like an evolved Pokemon all of a sudden. Has extra powers.
How to catch them all. Imagine if there was a Pokemon Go, but it's just all Mick Mars. You just have to catch. You just have to catch all disabled celebrity musicians. That's it. Keith Richards is in there.
They're not very fast moving. That was you beat that game in like a day and a half.
Yeah, it's like easy mode for Pokemon Go.
Pokemon slow.
Nice.
Rob, that could be your next big venture. You could develop that app.
Yeah. Fucking your boy Bangs has an app. What are you waiting for?
Yeah.
It's a gaming app, which we've played on our Patreon.
That's right.
So you guys know, if you view our Patreon, join our Patreon, you can see Rob play the Bangs app. It's like Candy Crush, but with bangs.
Yeah.
It's very bad. It's in our Hall of Fame induction of bangs. So Mars also claimed that Six would make band decisions without telling the other musicians and would ask his bandmates to sign documents immediately on Fridays at 5 p.m. How did Mars brothers of 41 years respond to Mars' tragic announcement about quitting the road? Asks the suit. They noticed an emergency shareholders meeting for the band's main corporate entity in order to throw Mars out of the band, to fire him as director of the corporation, to fire him as an officer of the corporation, and to take away his shares of the corporation. When he did not go away quietly, they purported to fire him from 6 additional band corporations and LLCs. It's got dirty. The suit contends during much of the band's recent tenure, Six continually gaslighted Mars, telling him that Mars had some sort of cognitive dysfunction and that his guitar playing was subpar, claiming that Mars forgot chords and sometimes started playing the wrong songs.
So why is one of them playing to a track, and why is Mick Mars actually playing the guitar in this tour? Well, if the other ones are using a track, why is he playing?
Maybe he just he refused to play to a track.
But if it's that bad, maybe it's not that. Is he lying that it's bad? I don't know. It can't. But he's so. I'm not trying to make fun of him. Like I am kind of, but like I'm not. But like right now, I'm not. I'm being serious. Yeah. Like what? Like he can't. Like why? He can't possibly play the guitar like he used to, right? If he's so diminished.
It's very hard to believe that he's.
Yeah.
What he used to be.
Yeah. I can't imagine how much he's actually playing. But so Yeah, they continue. Astonishingly, Six made the claims about Mars playing while Six did not play a single note on the bass during the entire U.S. tour. Ironically, 100% of Six's bass parts were nothing but recordings. Six was seen fist pumping in the air with his strumming hand while the bass part was playing. In fact, a significant portion of Vince Neil's vocals were also pre-recorded. Even some of Tommy Lee's drum parts were recording. Some fans actually noticed that Lee was walking towards his drum set as they heard his drum part begin.
I believe all of that, but that doesn't change that. Like, if Mick Mars was the only one not playing to a recording,
so he's claiming he was playing. Yeah. So hold on. Although Mars had indicated that the 12 U.S. stadium dates would be his last shows while touring, the 12 dates ultimately expanded to 36 shows, and Mars performed at every single one of them in constant pain. Jesus. Six's gaslighting came to a crescendo during the stadium tour when, knowing that this was Mars's last tour as a result of his increasingly painful and debilitating syndrome, apparently already plotting to force him out of the bed. Excuse me.
Oh my God.
That's how Mick Mars first started getting injured.
And taking shares. He repeatedly told Mars he was playing the wrong chords, and fans were complaining about his playing. Mars, at times on the tour, did play the wrong chords, but not due to any cognitive dysfunction. He was playing live, and his in-ear monitors were constantly malfunctioning. It's everyone else's fault.
It's also because his hands are gnarled by arthritis.
Yeah.
Mars was unable to hear his own instrument. The fact that Mars is rarely mocked or criticized online. He is a quiet member of the group who shows up to play and puts his heart and soul into each performance.
Wait. He's rarely mocked online. Is that what you just said?
We're not doing enough.
Can you please forward every single live cast to Nikki Sixx's lawyers? You shut that case down real quick. Wow.
It goes on to say, conversely, other members are often criticized online, particularly Neil, who is routinely torn to shreds for, among other things, not remembering songs.
Imagine if one of our shows is actually entered into evidence. Could you? We have to testify.
Yeah, the bag hutch said he can't afford to put his heart or soul into performance. That's true. How much does he have? Like, this finite amount of heart and soul left.
Barely. All that's left is the soul. All the actual tissue and viscera is withered and evaporated.
Desiccated. Dusty Rhodes Muffler says, is Mick Mars like the vagina ain't handicapped lady now?
Oh, well, she's dead.
Vagina ain't handicapped. Vagina ain't handicapped. So what? I can't walk. My vagina ain't handicapped.
That's Mick. He's going to cover that song. Wait, she's alive, isn't she?
No, she's dead.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I remember now. Sorry.
I'd trade Mick Mars's life for hers to bring her back.
Did we also induct her into the Hall of Fame?
Yes, that's where we find out she
That's
died.
where we find out she died. See,
and she also plays her own instruments. I got to tell you, she's really singing on that track. Then, unlike Motley Crue.
Yeah,
it's true. But also, her live show, I bet, probably didn't cost like $100 for the worst seat.
Another point to her.
So Motley Crue has since responded to the lawsuit. How do you think they responded? They probably just apologized and decided to give Mick his fair share.
Yes.
You know,
now we've seen the light. We've seen the light. The error of our ways.
Yeah, this whole thing is over now. No, not quite. In fact, here it is. They issued a statement to Loudwire.
Okay. Oh, just to Loudwire. They got the exclusive.
Loudwire got the exclusive. Lauren Schaffner there.
Why not Lamb Goat?
Maybe Lamb Goat didn't reach out to their management team.
Aha. Fucking slackers.
So Motley Crue, as a group, offered this response.
I just picture them all speaking in unison at the same time while reading it.
But it's a recording.
Mick, you dumb bitch. No, they
Mick, you ignorant slut.
Mick's lawsuit is unfortunate and completely off base. In 2008, Mick voted for and signed an agreement in which he and every other band member agreed that in no event shall any resigning shareholder be entitled to receive any monies attributable to live performance, i.e. tours. After the last tour, Mick publicly resigned from Motley Crue. Despite the fact that the band did not owe Mick anything, and with Mick owing the band millions in advances that he did not pay back, the band offered Mick a generous compensation package to honor his career with the band. Manipulated by his manager and lawyer, Mick refused and chose to file this ugly public lawsuit. Equally unfortunate are his claims about the band's live performances. Motley Crue always performs its songs live, but during the last tour, Mick struggled to remember chords, played the wrong songs, made constant mistakes, which led to his departure from the band. There are multiple declarations from the band's crew attesting to his decline, which are attached. The band did everything to protect him, tried to keep these matters private, to honor Mick's legacy, and take the high road. Unfortunately, Mick chose to file the lawsuit to badmouth the band. The band feels empathy for Mick, wishes him well, and hopes that he can get better guidance from his advisors, who are driven by greed. It's the advisors that are driven by greed.
That kind of sounds, and maybe it's just very well written legalese. That kind of made me rethink what is going on here. Maybe they're in the right.
How so?
What do you think? I don't know. If any of that's true, and I don't know if it is. I mean, it seems reasonable.
Well, I will say, like when they say that they have signed statements from the crew members, like those guys still work for the band, so of course they're going to say whatever the band wants them to if they want to keep their job. So that is, but I believe everything they say about Mick Mars, but it's still like just I think be a little bit more gracious on the way out. Like just give them
both sides are correct. You know, like I could believe this, and this idea, the idea about the resigning. Like signing a paper saying that if you resign, you forfeit all profits from the band. That seems like bullshit. That seems like a bullshit clause, or that they maybe snuck in because they knew that of all the people, who's the one that would resign? You know, it's going to be fucking Mick Mars. The rest of them are.
Yeah, but like, didn't they also probably think that he'd be dead before he had a chance to resign? Like, it's all very confusing. Like, part of me thinks that this all happened because they expected him to be dead a long time ago and he stuck around too long.
Yeah.
I could believe that as well. Very much so. So, whose side are we on here, folks?
I think 51% Mick Mars, I would say.
Yeah.
But he should not be touring.
Yeah. It's just like, even if he's not technically right in this, like, just Motley Crue, just stop being dicks. Just give the old man some extra money, whatever. How much longer is he going to be around for anyway?
Poor guy needs a new liver.
Yeah. He needs to do everything.
And they're making so much.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, again, we have to circle back to Vince Neil doing infomercials at 3 a.m.
I know, but still, like, they're doing these stadium shows. They're making like $3 million a night, was the report.
But how much do they get out of that?
Well, I mean,
enough, I'm sure.
Even 20% of that is still a lot.
This all to me reeks of like they never liked Mick in the first place, and now they're just getting a chance to fuck him over a little bit. Because if they were all friends and like they'd feel bad and they'd want to like treat him well in his like last few years, like this just seems like you've been annoying to us forever, and now you're vulnerable, so we could sort of stick it to you.
But Rob and Sid also let's just indulge me for a second. Let's do some math here. So you said the 2 million a night. Let's say they get 10% of that each. They get 200 grand, and they do 20 stadium shows. That means they each get $4 million. Now let's remember that Vince Neil, over the course of his life with Motley Crue, probably made a good $300 million, and he's pissed enough of that away to be doing Zamboni commercials. How fast would he go through 4 million? Probably really fast. They probably, at least Vince Neil, probably needs money. Now, I'm not going to say he's living under a bridge, but I think he has a certain lifestyle he needs to maintain. And
I'm sorry, it's actually $5 million per show.
Even so, does this also? So, like, is Mick Mars losing like royalties for like their old albums too, or is this just tour profits that he's fucked out?
They sell the catalog, so they don't get anything, right?
Yeah, they already sold their catalog.
No.
I think it's just for. Well, no, it started with just for touring, but then in this statement they said that once he started pushing back, they started pushing him out of other corporations that they're partners in. So I'm assuming it's beyond touring. It's probably licensing or merchandising.
Mm.
But which that look, okay. I think there is an argument to be made that he shouldn't make that much off of touring. I think he should still make something because it's without the work that he put in, they would not be where they are today and would not be able to be charging the money they are today. You could argue 5% is too little or too much, but in terms of royalties for like merch and all that shit, he absolutely should be getting just as much as the rest of them.
Yeah.
But we're not.
I'm sure they'll settle on something, and then there'll be like some kind of like united press release that they've patched things up, and then 3 weeks later he'll be dead, and it won't have mattered, and it'll just be like an extra indignity in like the last few weeks of this man's life.
Brutal.
Which, like, really, the only indignity he should be suffering is the jokes that we make at his expense. Like everything else, he should be treated fine because he's like a walking ghost at this point. Like,
I think the last indignity he should suffer is to put out a solo album and have one of his songs be used on as the title song on a WWE pay-per-view. It's nothing more embarrassing than that.
And yeah, if he says he's not forgetting chords and stuff like that and he can still play, then all right, prove it. Put the album out, let's hear what it sounds like. Colin says you should get some of the royalties from the songs that he wrote with Motley Crue. I don't know which of us three he means that should get the royalties, but I agree with him.
Well, there's another comment above it. Read this one.
Oh. It's a musician. It's a musician is in pain, or they have some kind of disability, or they can't play anymore.
If a musician, maybe.
They have the right to resign or have a person take their place. Well, yeah, of course.
I liked it better when it was us getting the royalties.
Yeah, seriously, Rob, let's go back. I want the royalties.
We could just be like George Santos and just say that we wrote all these songs, or Hulk Hogan.
We were all the bassist in Motley Crue at one point.
Oh. Fuck it, it's worth a
I
try.
could pump my fist to a recording if that's all it takes now.
Promise you, I won't go through 4 million like that, like Vince Neil did.
Yeah, I'm happy with 5%.
Sure. I don't even need to buy bone marrow yet.
Yeah, it can't hurt to have some tucked away.
Medicine cabinet or something.
It's delicious.
It is pretty good.
Spread it on some toast points.
Human bone marrow?
I've never had that I know of, but it's probably not dissimilar from cow marrow.
It saves lives. It probably tastes great.
Yeah.
So Darren, what happened at Citi Field to you this week? You went to a Mets game.
Oh yeah. So I should give you some background first. So as you know, Sid and I are huge Mets fans. Rob's a Mets fan too. I think Sid and I are a little more obsessive. But I have a streak going for the last 40 years with my mother since 1983. We've been to every opening day. And people think sometimes, following a team as obsessively as I do is a little silly. But I have a lot of like family bonding stuff tied up in that. And I'm very, my mother and I have a somewhat rocky relationship, even though I love her. She loves me. But the Mets are a way we experience like having a nice 3-hour time and not fighting with each other. So I take her every year. And this year we went. It was yesterday. And it's a great game. And we were sitting in front of these two guys that I was kind of only half listening to them. But they were sort of like, not talking about politics, but you could pick up that they were sort of like MAGA adjacent kind of, even though they were talking about sports. I was like, whatever. I just thought it was kind of funny. And the game goes on. The game progresses. It's like a podcast, like nonstop talking. Inane opinions about everything related to sports and otherwise. And finally, 7th inning comes. And I don't know if Sid, you've been to a game with me. I don't know if they played God Bless America. I do not stand up when God Bless America is played. I think it's a shitty song.
They still do that.
They don't do it. The Yankees do it every game. Dodgers do it every game. Most of the teams, including the Mets, do it on special occasions like opening day or maybe every Sunday, or the 4th of July, or 9/11. You know, they do it when it's an opportunity
like
for
a patriotic holiday.
Yes. So the Mets do not do it every game, but they did it this game. And I sit down, and it's not like I'm achieving some kind of political goal or something. I don't like the song, so I just sit there and look at my phone. That's it. And so the guy in the middle of the song taps me on the shoulder. He leans over into my row, and he says, "Hey, man, your legs don't work?" Just like that.
The fuck
and
you?
I said, I turned around, I said politely, I said, my legs work great. I'm intentionally sitting down during this song because I fucking hate it. And then he shut up. And he didn't say anything to me, and he turned away. The song's still going on during all this, by the way. So where's his respect for this wonderful fucking song? And he turns to his friend. He's like, "Oh, that's why he's wearing a mask. See, it all goes together, you know." I actually had my mask down. I had it on a chin strap because when I go to the seat, and I've been to games with you guys, I don't feel like. I put the mask up when I'm going to go to the concourse. Mm-hmm. So when there's a bunch of people, one of them might potentially turn around and sneeze right in my nostril. That's when I have the mask up. And I keep it for convenience. I keep it here. I don't really feel unsafe when I'm at my seat looking forward, and the only other person in close proximity to me is my mother. So it's fun, or you or Rob, whatever. So I had it down. So then there has like an ongoing. Now the song ends, the game's back on. There's like a conversation behind me about my mask wearing. God. And my mother, you're talking about my mother wearing a mask. Oh, whatever. I'm ignoring. I'm a grown adult now, so I'm ignoring it. I just think they're stupid idiots, and I'm waiting for them to actually address me again directly, and then some shit will go down. But they didn't. They're just passive aggressively. Blah, blah, blah. They're so offended that I didn't stand up for the stupid song. Okay. Now the game ends. The Mets win. Yay! I'm walking out. I'm walking up the steps. He's right behind me. The guy who tapped me on the shoulder gives me the high five signal. So I said, "Oh, okay. You know, he's a dickhead, but he's being gracious. All right, bury the hatchet. Boom. High five. I'm walking up, and he goes, "But you know, you really should stand up for the." So then I stopped. So I said, I turned around. I said, "You know what? Actually, I don't have to stand up because this is a free country. Isn't that the point of the fucking song that you're so worried about and crying over? That we live in a free country and it's the greatest country in the world. So I can sit in my fucking seat if you want to, and you should mind your own fucking business." And then it's not him, but his friend lost it. And his friend stands up, and his friend, and I don't mean to knock anybody in the audience who's short, but his friend must have been about 5'3". And it's not
what age range with these guys?
45 to 50.
Okay.
Roughly my age.
Okay.
But looked way older. But I feel like I can guess. I would guess they're a hard 47. You know how you can tell someone's not that old, but they look old? Like you could read the situation. So that's what I would guess. So then his friend lost it. The guy who tapped me on the shoulder was like kind of calm throughout all of this. That guy lost it.
So you're still at your seats at this point? Or
we have vacated our seats. We walked up the aisle. We were in the Coca-Cola corner. Okay. So it's like a big open area once you get up the aisle. And I'm standing at the top of the stairs. And the guy's now hiding. The short guy. And I wanted to say this to be clear. Again, I'm not shaming short people. But the combination of being short and super belligerent always amuses me. I think there's something going on there. Just embrace being short.
Situation.
So his friend is like my height, like close to 6 feet, eye to eye. The other guy's like, you ever see the Looney Tunes cartoon where there's the big bulldog and the little dog prancing around? I was like, "Come on, Spike, we're gonna beat him up, right? Come on, Spike." That was that guy. Okay. So he's like, why don't you pull your mask up, bitch? I said, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" Like my 20-year-old, the fuse got lit in my brain, and I was like, "The fuck did you just say to me?" And then the other guy's trying to calm him down and calm me down. He's like, "Come on, you know, it's just the God bless America thing, you know." I said, like I told you before, I don't have to stand up for any fucking song. Why don't you go to North Korea if you want to go to a fucking military procession where they make you stand for a fucking fake patriotism song? I don't do that shit. If you don't like it, stick it up your fucking ass. I don't give a shit. I don't know you. I don't know you. I'm here enjoying the game with my fucking
Did a
mother.
USA chant break out after this?
People started gathering around because they thought that some fucking fisticuffs were going to be happening. And there was like a very, very nice sort of like older threshold zillennial couple, maybe 25, who were there. And they were kind of very, very docile types, but they were like defending me. Like, come on, man, just leave him alone. Like, come on, what's that? I was like, I wanted to tell him, like, I got this. Because the guy might turn around and punch them in the face, you know. But they were very sweet. And then when this all ended, by the way, fast forward, they got an elevator with me. Like, I can't believe you did. I've never seen that at a game. That was so wrong. What do they care if you wear a mask? That is so silly. I was like, he was just drunk, you know. But anyway, I came very close to punching this guy in the face because he was talking to my mother too. And he's like, the both of them started giving like the dissertation on mask wearing. Oh, and you know, it's doing more harm to you than good. You know that, right? It's doing more harm to you than good.
I don't understand. Like, it's one thing for you yourself personally to not want to wear a mask, but to like shit on other people for wearing masks, I never like get over it. Like how is this person? Yeah, like how are they bothering you? Like, it's in no way a threat to you that somebody else is wearing a mask. If anything else, they're being considerate because they're not getting their fucking germs on you.
They're culturally offended by the mask. That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't
Kid
understand.
Rock shooting at the Bud Light. It's the same thing. So I said to him, look, since we've been at this game together, one row apart, you've been drinking, you've had 19 beers. You destroyed your liver, and you're now going to be an authority on. Let me listen to the alcoholic weirdo who's telling me about masks. That's the information I'm going to listen to, and not a doctor who tells me to put a mask on in a public place. Thank you very much. And then the guy lost it again. He's like, yeah, walk away, bitch. And then I stopped. This is the last interaction. He turned around. And I gently pushed the taller guy out of the way. And I said, I'm standing right here. What do you want to do? Take a swing at me. I'm not going to punch you because I'm not going to get arrested with my mother here, my 80-year-old mother. I'm not going to get arrested. If you jump up and throw a fucking punch at me, I will knock you on your ass and put you in the hospital. You picked the wrong fucking person. And he's like, you're a fucking asshole. He just like basically verbally backed off. I was like, okay,
of course.
Have a good day. And I got in the elevator because my mother takes the elevator at Citi Field. She doesn't like to walk down the stairs. They went down the stairs.
How did your mom react to all of this?
She actually snapped at the guys one time during this whole exchange when he was going on and on and on about the mask. Like, I was telling him, fuck off, fuck off, fuck off. And he kept saying the same, like a robot. The taller guy was like, you know, the mask is bad for you, right? Mask is bad. He kept doing the repeat thing. And my mother's like, oh, shut up. Like, nobody wants to hear your advice. Like, shut the fuck up. My mother's a hardcore, like, New York broad, you know, and a huge sports fan.
And then she pulled out a switchblade and stabbed him in the gut.
I wish.
She's a hardcore New York broad.
Be so proud of her. She's not that hardcore. She's willing to yell at you, though. She's got massive road rage and stuff like that. So when she drives. But yeah, you know, like I've always said on the show, like I feel like if I was 20, the guy would have been in the hospital. I have evolved, I think, since then. I thought I handled that well, but
you don't want to get into a scuffle at Citi Field and then they ban you from the park. You can't go to Mets games anymore.
Well,
it's just not worth it.
Yeah, like that's what I would. That's where my head would be like, oh, I don't want to like ruin my fun because of some dipshit.
I agree, which is why I didn't punch him in the mouth.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't reach down and punch him in the mouth.
These aren't season tickets you have, right? This was just one game. So this is not like a section that you're going to be sitting in with them behind you again, hopefully.
No. Oh, I would have no qualms about that. Say something to me. Like I said, I'm not going to throw the first punch. I'm not going to get ejected, but I'll defend myself.
Yeah.
They were so drunk, fucking one punch to the heart, I'll probably give him cardiac arrest. Anyway.
It's like fighting Mick Mars.
Yeah. Guy was falling all over. The taller guy was way drunker than the shorter guy.
Huh.
He was like falling all over himself, like stumbling, trying to tell me these Ben Shapiro facts about masks. Like, it was hilarious.
Was it a Mets mask? Maybe he wouldn't have been as offended if it had a Mets logo on it.
Standard regular black KN95.
See, that was the mistake. I bet he wouldn't have been mad if your mask had a Mets logo on it.
There's dipshits like this in every fan base, unfortunately.
The
end.
But at least they won the game.
They won
at
the
least there's
game.
that.
I couldn't believe the guy high-fived me at the end. I was like ready for this guy to say something to me on the way out, and he was like, I was like, oh, he's actually being nice. Let me be gracious, even though he's got a lot of stupid opinions. Let me just, of course, he had to stick something else on there.
Sad.
Very sad. Can't enjoy a Mets game without some kind of political commentary. He should be indicted.
We did get some viewer mail.
Oh,
Trump would have hated that guy because he was short. Let's get that out of the way. Forget any of the opinions.
Not from central casting.
Yes. No. Bad genetics is what they call that. Terrible. It's a sad thing.
Let's just say this guy's not getting a lot of women.
Yeah. He put the Stewie voice on. You wouldn't be getting any models. But...
And I'm sure his mom likes him, but not too many other people do.
Let's look at the resume. 6'2", not great, not good.
I always love when Rob does the Trump voice enough that it turns into Jiminy Glick. It always happens like halfway through.
They're not
That's how he turns into Jiminy Glick sometimes. I think you just don't listen enough Trump to hear it.
My bad. I'll remedy that.
Yeah, please. All right. So this one's from Chris. We love the feedback. Of course, you can send us your feedback, riplivecast@gmail.com. That is the email address. Tag us on social media. We're riplivecast, where we are. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And Chris asks, wanted to share a situation and get your thoughts if it's interesting to you guys. I switched to T-Mobile via a text chat last week. In this chat, the guy very clearly said, just for switching, we'll be sending you an $800 Visa credit card. I thought this was weird, but I double-checked with him, and he confirmed. No strings attached. A week later, I'm curious when this credit card will be showing up in the mail, so I do some investigating. It turns out that this chat person either lied to bait me into switching or, out of stupidity, gave me the wrong information. Customer service did not believe me at first. I proved it by sending the transcript. They not only weren't willing to send me the card, but continually tried to upsell me more expensive plans while reading a script. Eventually, they told me I should probably discontinue the service. So where am I going with all of this? Do you guys think I should have kept going? I spent 3 hours on this ordeal. Was I right to stop when they finally said you should just leave T-Mobile? Do you know of any cell phone providers that provide good customer service?
No.
Then he goes on, thanks, love the show. Would like an update from 3D on any recent dating stories since the separation. He says, I went on a date recently and was internet stalked by the lady's ex, who was a felon. Good stuff. Chris, I want to quickly address the first question. I'm assuming you're saying you switched via text chat. I've never signed up for a phone contract via text chat. I'm assuming the text chat was initiated by that person. If that is the case, and you did not initiate this text chat, it is most likely that this person 100% scammed you. He's just a third-party T-Mobile affiliate. I've worked for plenty that weren't scams. I just worked for a cell phone store that it was just like a third-party company that you could sign up for a T-Mobile contract or an AT&T contract, but I didn't work for T-Mobile. I worked for this company who then had an affiliate deal with T-Mobile. It sounds like this person had that same affiliate deal and he scammed you by claiming that you would have an $800 Visa card, but I don't think you signed anything to prove that they would send you that. There's usually terms to that as well. Like you have to commit to a certain amount of time. So it might be they just lied to you. And it sounds like when you called T-Mobile, you called T-Mobile directly and they don't have any deal like that. So they didn't know what you were talking about, which is probably why they encouraged you to cancel, because there's no way they could fulfill a deal that they never offered.
Now, here's my question. When he says text chat, does he mean someone literally texted him, or does he mean he went to T-Mobile.com and did the contact us chat with a representative thing?
Right. That I am unsure of.
Very different.
For my thing to make sense in my head, I'm assuming this person, because he said and also he double checked with him and he confirmed. You should have double checked on Google, did some Google searching, seen some advertisement online that would prove it. Because if something is too good to be true, it most likely is, unfortunately. The good news is you do have 30 days to cancel, and so you could get all your money back. Unless
the
I don't know.
scammer isn't even affiliated with T-Mobile and just took
Yeah.
his info, and I don't know.
As far
we
as
need more
what service
information.
to use, I'm personally on AT&T. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
cheaper than Verizon. It's better than AT&T from what I hear in terms of service, but it depends on where you live.
Wait. You just said you're on AT&T and it's better than AT&T in terms of service.
I'm sorry, it's better than T-Mobile.
Okay.
In terms of like where I get signal compared to my friends on T-Mobile. I would say from what I've heard, Verizon is the best with customer service and service, but they're also the most expensive. So you find yourself a happy medium wherever you want to go. As far as the second part of the question, Darren, that's all you.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to also first say something about T-Mobile too. That if this was maybe 2 years ago, I would have said they had far and away the best customer service of any telecommunications company that I've dealt with. It's gone sharply downhill in the past little while. It's just awful. They've outsourced it to other countries. It used to be fully U.S. based, and they're also a lot less cooperative when like issues like this crop up. They're very rude at times, and they don't offer anything like they treat you basically as if you're trying to squeeze something out of them. So they're treating you more as the adversary, whereas they used to treat you as a customer, I would say. That's a very recent development. Dating, I don't have any like crazy horror stories lately. I wish I did. I'll gladly bring them to the show, but like I've been kind of swamped with school and work and poker, and it's like and this show, and it's all like kind of. But I did go on. I've been texting with this lovely woman. Her name is Lucia. And we went on one date, and she met me when I was in my full umpire gear after working. I was very sweaty, and she didn't care. And we went to a Dallas BBQ. I had a very nice chat and had some very nice, cheap but delicious food. She picked it. I wasn't being a cheap date, and I love Dallas BBQ, so I'm glad that we have similar tastes. And we'll see where it goes. I'll keep you updated. Very lovely woman.
Nice.
I'm sorry if that's not an exciting answer, but no crazy sex tales yet since the last discussion, and no crazy people that I've dealt with lately. But it's really because I'm not putting as much time in, honestly. Like this is a busy. Well, now it's spring break, but it's like work is heating up for school. Like I'm a senior now, and I'm like almost done with undergrad, and it's like a lot of shit. I got to make 2 video essays in the next week that I've procrastinated on. I just have scripts so far.
Can the Livecast count as a video essay for you?
I've definitely interjected some things we've talked about on here into a couple of video essays so far.
Nice.
But no, I don't think I can just use an episode.
You record yourself talking, or like how does it work?
Yeah, well, you've seen video essays, like film criticism essays and stuff online. So it's like that. I just record. I write a script. You have to write a shooting script with like, it has the text that you're reading, and then like a link to video footage you're showing, and then any graphics that are going to be in the shot, and it has to all be laid out. You write all of that, then you record the audio, and then you just take clips and sort of edit them together, pop in text and whatever, fancy shit you want to throw in there. And it's just like film criticism essays, and like, or the one I'm working on now is how is Robert Eggers's film The Witch influenced by 3 other films before it. So it's like The Shining, Nosferatu, The Crucible, and other horror/witch related movies. Nosferatu, I think. Haxan, the old German documentary. I don't know, this is all boring to the audience probably, but that's generally an idea of the kind of shit I have to do. Very deep in the woods movie stuff.
And some of the movies take place deep in the woods.
Yeah, especially The Witch. You see The Witch?
I have not yet. I've been told by multiple people I should.
Maybe the best movie of the 2010s, I think.
Wow.
One of my favorites.
Better than La La Land?
You're kidding, right? I was scared. I didn't want to laugh too hard in case you really loved La La Land.
It was fine.
Movie sucks so bad. Moonlight would be another one of my favorites of the 2010. I'll say one of. It's up. I'd say top 5 for sure.
Is La La Land top 35?
La La Land could go in the toilet as far as I'm concerned. It's one of the worst movies I've seen. Relative to its prominence and
that is fair.
Obviously partners like Peter James Iengo films
Yeah.
are not on the same criticism scale.
One of the most overrated.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah, what a trash movie. Everything wrong with musicals is in that.
I don't.
What movie?
like
I'm
any-
sorry, I got a little distracted. By
La La Land. You know what I love?
I liked it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it was all right. It was. I thought it wasn't the best movie of the year, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the throwback quality of it. It made me want to go back and watch Singing in the Rain. There's a bunch of really good ones on HBO Max from back in the day. And when I say back in the day, I mean the 30s and 40s.
Now let me channel Trump about this. Ready? Wrong. You're wrong. I'll tell you what's a great musical that I just saw. Fantastic.
In the Heights.
No, I didn't see it. I
could only make it through. I could only make it through 4 minutes of that movie.
But this movie takes place in the Heights.
Oh,
and it's called West Side Story by Steven Spielberg.
Oh, really?
Loved it.
Wow.
Loved it more than the original. I think it's a better movie than the original.
Wow,
I
that
will
is
say that.
surprising.
I'll have to check it out.
Because here's why: he's faithful to the play material. They got actual Latinos to play the Latino parts.
Fucking woke musicals.
Yeah, go shoot them with a fucking Uzi. No, some of them were Latinos in the original, Rita Moreno and stuff, but every Latino character is played by a Latino actor. It's authentically New York type. He's a New Yorker or New York-based Jersey guy, right? And also, it deals with this peripheral shit about this movie. Why are these people in gangs? You just kind of introduced to them in the original movie. Oh, they're just hoodlums. Fuck them. They're just losers, classless. This is actually takes into account the socioeconomic factors about why people are in gangs, why they're racist, why they hate each other's race, and all that stuff. And it's there's also a trans character in the movie. There was a character in the original film that was a tomboy girl, and they transformed her in the remake into a trans man, trans teenage boy. It's very well done.
Did not know about any of that.
And it does not hit you over the head with any of that stuff. It's really faithful to the musical, but with these little nice touches, I thought. Wonderful movie. Everyone should see it.
Nice. Huh. I had no idea.
Let's talk about our Spotify picks. Every week, we like to pick a song. Each pick a song. We throw it on the RIPL Livecast music break, which you could see on Spotify. This week, I picked the song "Eyeless" by Slipknot.
It's pronounced Alice, Rob. Come on.
No, it is not pronounced Alice. Show some respect to the knot.
To your boss.
What? I don't know. But it has the lyric, "You can't see California without Marlon Brando's eyes."
Oh.
And I was just in California.
Did you see it?
I didn't see Marlon Brando's eyes, but I saw LA. It was nice. It was a fun time.
You didn't share any stories. We did this whole episode. You didn't say a thing about it.
Oh, well, you didn't ask. How about that? I was waiting for someone to ask, but nobody cared. No, it was really, really fun. I mean, I went for wrestling. I'm going to be posting a little vlog on Knotfest in the next day or two. But honestly, my big takeaway is that I am an old man.
Oh, you got tired on the trip?
I got so tired. I was like, oh my God. I had events that I was looking forward to, but I would wake up and be like, oh, my lower back. Why am I doing this? There's just a lot of standing, a lot of moving around, a lot of, I'm pretty sedentary most of the time. And so it definitely made me come face to face with my mortality. It wasn't like it reminded me of going to South by Southwest many years ago, obviously for music, not wrestling, but just I didn't feel as exhausted after, while still feeling exhausted, nowhere near as how much I felt this time. And to the point where, next year, the WrestleMania week activities are going to be in Philadelphia, which is just a drive away for me. And I'm probably not going to go to 10 events. I'm probably just going to go to like 1 or 2, just keep.
Do they stagger these events so that they're both A, not happening during WrestleMania, and B, not happening during each other's events?
There's no competing events during WrestleMania. But there's usually at least 2 events happening at any time. So there was a lot of stuff that I really wanted to see that I missed just because I had to pick one. And I actually ended up coming home and watching like another 5 hours of wrestling, essentially, just of all the stuff that I missed that I heard was like so crazy that I wanted to see. But it finally happened, though. I needed a break from wrestling. I had too much wrestling. I was like, all right, I get it. I don't need that. I need a few minutes off.
I got that just from watching WrestleMania, honestly. Like, it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible, but it was a lot.
But I feel the thing with WrestleMania is what's a negative. I don't know if this is a negative or whatever, but leading up to WrestleMania, like WrestleMania is the reason all these shows are happening, because they're the ones that draw the main crowd, that get these people in town who want to sample these other promotions that you would never see because they don't usually tour in the States. Like, for example, DDT came over from Japan. It was very, very fun to watch that. The thing is, by the time WrestleMania comes around, you've already watched like 10 hours of unique, top of the line pro wrestling that you're like, how many Canadian destroyers do you need to see? It's not exciting anymore. Or like falls off. I watched 3 ladder matches before.
Wait, Canadian destroyer is a kind of match?
It's a move.
It's a move.
Oh,
it's
what is it? I don't know if
it's very hard to explain.
It's
so hard to
basically
explain.
like a flipping pile driver.
Okay.
Essentially,
why don't you show me a video?
You have someone in a pile driver position, and instead of lifting them up as you would, they're between your crotch, and instead of lifting them up into a pile driver, you do a front flip, and then with the flip, they're back flipping into a pile driver.
Let me just preface this also, or add an asterisk to this for Sid. It is a move that's completely useless in a real fight. It could never happen. It's purely acrobatic. It looks very nice. It looks very nice, but it makes no sense.
Okay, I think I could picture it in my head. Okay, thank you.
But I want to ask you, Rob, do you think so the intent of these companies is to use WrestleMania to attract fans, right, such as yourself, to see other types of do you think this works, or are you more of the exception? Oh, here's a Canadian.
Oh, it absolutely works.
Wait, watch this before you answer. Here you go. There you go.
Okay, that does. I don't know why that seems. Oh, maybe off the top rope. Okay, it also seems like it could very seriously injure someone if they do it wrong.
Yeah, sure. The thing is, it's all relied on the person taking it doing a safe backflip. It's the person giving it takes virtually no risk.
But yeah, the other thing, like, it looks like if it's done correctly, though, it seems like I don't even know how that would hurt the person that's receiving it. If it's done wrong, it could kill you. But if it's done correctly, it seems completely harmless, even in the guise of a wrestling match.
It's an acrobatic flip.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Sure. It should, like, I can understand why someone might do a 619. Or, you're hitting the guy in the face, or doing a 450 splash. It's like all those revolutions might add to your momentum, and then you land on him, and that makes sense to me. Even though it's an excuse, it's like retrofitting a reason why, but it makes sense. This doesn't make sense to me.
I maybe that's why it's Canadian. They're so nice that their wrestling moves don't actually hurt.
It's just so funny because, like, in any scenario where you do this, just doing a proper pile driver, a regular one, would be way more impactful to the person's spinal column.
Yeah. But this is flippy.
Right. I love flippy. I love flippy. My question was, is this really just working on you and you're a minority of somebody who's already insanely obsessed with wrestling, or is this attracting more people to get eyeballs on the thing that will sustain them in the future?
Oh, I think it's absolutely attracting more people because someone who tracks the business said all the attendance on all of the secondary non-WWE shows is up from last year.
Good.
So more people are attending these shows. There's more buzz online. It's also easier than ever to watch them online. Before you had to buy every show separately. So if you were to consume everything legally, it would be like $130 to $150 to watch everything. But now most of these shows are part of
the Fight app, is it?
Fight Plus. Fight has their own over-the-top network, which is like $6 a month. So $6, you get to watch like 20 hours of top-of-the-line pro wrestling.
That's great.
Yeah, so it was really, really good. And I do think, though, also, to your point, Darren, it's like a very insular, hardcore wrestling community. Because at most of these shows, I was seeing the same people. There would be a changeover, but a lot of the same folks. But it's great. Still, I saw my favorite wrestler, Kota Ibushi, in a Ukrainian culture center with 800 other people, and he only
Wait, why was he in a Ukrainian culture center?
That's where that was the venue.
Oh,
the Ukrainian
okay.
Culture Center.
Oh, right.
It was like the VFW hall.
So that's not a type of match. That's just
no. It's an auditorium where they set up a wrestling ring in the middle of it.
Did he do a Ukrainian destroyer? Oh wait, that's Putin.
I was going to ask if Zelensky did a speech before the match.
Yeah. Was there any? But like, jokes aside, was there like any like Ukrainian sappy tribute shit during the show?
Not this time. When the war originally started, I believe there was something along those lines, and then they had a big fundraiser for victims.
I heard Hulk Hogan was going to send his 2 big guns to Ukraine to help them fight the war. Yes.
They could go on the shelf right next to Sean Penn's Oscar.
Can we send the Billy Gunn and the guns, like Austin and Colton over there? I heard they need guns.
Tank Abbott.
Yeah.
R.I.P. this week in honor of what Rob was just talking about stands for Wrestling is Plentiful.
It's true.
Yeah.
How about Strike Force? Can we send Strike Force over?
I do have more wrestling to watch today. There was a big Japanese pay-per-view last night that I heard was pretty newsworthy. Got to watch some New Japan.
Oh yeah, I lapsed a little bit on New Japan since.
It's a good time to dive back in with the show last night. I haven't watched because there's so much wrestling now. I only kind of tune in on the big pay-per-views that I mostly just follow with the news. It's tough, man. It's tough being a wrestling fan now. There's so much to watch. It's tough being a wrestling fan of good wrestling because you have to seek out the good stuff.
I kind of fell out of New Japan since Wrestle Kingdom. I was like all caught up at Wrestle Kingdom, and then I've been like sort of on and off watching.
Well, like I said, this is a good one to just dive right in. I think this is the first big event they've had basically since Wrestle Kingdom, other than the US pay-per-view where Sasha Banks debuted. She's on this show too, which is really cool. All right, let's go through the music pick. Sid, what did you get?
Well, this was a rare instance. I don't think this has ever happened before. And I think it's in part because we took last week off. So the song I picked came out a week and a half ago. And I was like, all right, well, when we come back, this will be my playlist pick. And then this morning when I went to add it, it's like, wait a minute, this isn't the band that did the song. In the week and a half since the song came out, the band already changed their name. Which I've never seen before. The band was originally called Bad Optics, and now the band is called Doom Regulator. And the reason this is,
That's a big switch.
Yeah. And the reason this band is noteworthy is because it features Jesse Michaels from Operation Ivy and Tim Armstrong from Operation Ivy and Rancid, and they have a new project together. Is the song good? Not especially good song, but it's noteworthy.
Well, it's been 30 years since they worked together, right?
Yeah.
So
they got to work out the kinks, is that?
Tim Armstrong looks rough. Jesse Michaels still looks great. Tim Armstrong looks like the corpse of someone who lived on the street for 50 years and then drowned.
I heard he's going to give him 5% of all the profits of Operation Ivy.
He seriously looks like the Mick Mars of punk. He really does. It's fucking rough. And the song is like, it's like a ska song. It's slow. It's not great. They all sound tired. But I thought it was noteworthy and worth putting on here. And it's just weird that in the week and a half since it came out, they already changed their name. Like, I'm guessing that this project will not last long. Like, there probably won't be a second song.
Right.
But
it's just one song. It's not even a song from an album or an EP.
Yeah, I think Tim Armstrong's record label is doing like a singles club kind of thing. And this was like one of the first releases. So maybe there will be more, but maybe not. So either way, this is a document of whatever. Maybe by the time you go on the playlist and hear this song, they'll be on their third name. And everything I just said will make even less sense. But yeah, that was my pick. Darren, what was your pick?
My pick was the song Diet Pill from the album Bricks Are Heavy by the great band L7, the all-female heavy rock band of the 90s. Are they even still a band? I don't even know.
I think they might do things on occasion, but I don't think they're really like fully still a band. Might be like one-offs here and there.
I used to really love L7.
Yeah, great.
And this is a song about a woman escaping domestic violence, taking the kid and getting the fuck out, which is always a good thing. So beautiful song, wonderful band. Check them out if you're not old like me and have never heard of L7.
All right. And of course, you can always get yourself even more of RIP Livecast on Patreon, patreon.com/RIP Livecast. $5 a month gets you access to 2 bonus episodes a month and Sid's weekly TV recommendations column. At the top of the month, this month, we had a very fun look back at 2 really bad South Brooklyn reality shows. We watched Brooklyn 112-223, which was about these completely unknown-worthy Guidos in South Brooklyn, one of whom owns a car wash or a car shop or something. But like, these people are completely not noteworthy and very broke. And the whole time we're just like, this is where they, we're just like, where are they shooting this? Like, this person could have cleaned up their room a little bit. And then the second show we watched was Russian Dolls, which featured Russian people of all generations trying to present themselves as richer than they really are,
which is all reality shows, really.
Yeah, which was a little more palpable, and of course the main
palatable.
Palatable. What did I say?
Palpable. I mean that too, I guess.
So 2 fun shows. You can watch those. We got plenty of watch-alongs in the archives. We watched the Chris Holmes documentary, Mean Man. I wonder how he feels about the whole Bud Light situation. Oh, yeah, he's in France.
Oh. Well, then we know how he feels about the Bud Light situation.
Yeah, Money Plane starring Edge and Kelsey Grammer. This weird Netflix movie, Escape the Undertaker, from a few years ago with the New Day. Lots of fun stuff in there. So check out our Patreon, patreon.com/RIP Livecast. $10 a month. You become a top Livecast fan. Get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now. How do we do these shout outs, folks?
I would suggest your Kid Rock and each one of these listeners is a beer brand that has offended you.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Listen up, America. Grandpa's got something to say. Eric, Benjamin, you two been kissing too much. Kid Rock's not into this. Dan R, what does the R stand for? It better stand for Republican, but it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Sam I am what? LGBT? We don't need none of that. Mindy Mays Kippa. You know what I found in that kippa? Jizz.
Oh. What? Is that good or bad?
I'm surprised he didn't have issue with the Judaism paraphernalia, too.
Yeah.
Nah, Kid Rock's accountants are Jewish, so it's okay.
Okay.
Wait, we have a follow up from Chris in the middle of our shout outs. He said that the text to chat was definitely affiliated with T-Mobile. He went through their chat support on the T-Mobile website. Then this guy was absolutely lying to you, buddy. I don't know. That's crazy.
Weird.
Sorry to hear that. And all right, keeping along. Massachusetts, why don't you and Hugo like some tacos together and get off my lawn? Lando Danks, I don't do the danks. I just drink good old American beer. LaCroix. It sounds French to me. You know how we feel about the French. Corey and Scotty H, you two sound like wonderful people. Doug Pigman, yeah, you a pigman. I heard of you pigmans. You dirty boy. You need the power of Christ inside of you, not that BDSM pigman. Douglas, who are you, Levison? Why don't you try to be a God-fearing Republican? How about that? And hey, guys, it's Josh. I don't like the way you say hey. I don't like the way you say that. No more hey for Josh.
Hey is
For horses.
That's right. That's our show. Want to give a shout out to Sid's cat? Just hanging out, cleaning herself. Ramona's just cleaning herself. Bye, Ramona. Bye, everyone. We'll see you next week.